All right, greetings. What's good, everyone? This is Chris Dixon, and I am back with another episode and discussion here on the Tunnel Vision podcast. Hope all is good and well with everyone. I just got back a few hours ago from Savannah. Took me a little weekend trip just to visit my family down there, make sure everything was good with them. Got a chance to go to the beach and rebalance myself and did some grounding. So I got a chance to put my feet in the water before it got too cold. So I was grateful for that. So my weekend has been very enjoyable. It's always good to take getaway trips, when you can. Get some new scenery, and just to overall recuperate, from work, things of that nature. But anyways, on this particular discussion, I want to build on the form of magic known as Chaos Magick. But before I do so, I want to correct a mistake that I made when I was teaching on the Jinn. I mentioned in the discussion that I did on Corin Hargrove's book, Practical Jinn Magic, where I stated that in order to work with the Jinn, you had to first come through the 4 elder Jinn Kings. And then I stated in the discussion that I did on Bill Catman's book, I stated that it wasn't necessary to do so because he doesn't utilize in his book the 4 elder Jinn Kings. And I pretty much stated that it was optional to work with them. But I stated pretty much like it was mandatory in the discussion on Corin Hargrove. So I wanted to clear up any confusion on that. I wasn't even aware that I had said that when I did that particular discussion until I went back and rewatched my video, and I was like, dang, man, I made a mistake on it. Because normally I re-listen to my content before I post, to make sure everything is good, make sure I didn't say anything that sounds contradictory or things of that nature, because it's never my intentions to mislead anybody. I'm not perfect, I make mistakes. And when I make my mistakes, I always make sure that I admit them and I correct them. So that is what I'm doing before I go any further with making any content. So my apologies on that. It's optional, to work with the 4 elders in your work. But you don't have to, it's not mandatory. All right. So I wanted to get that out of the way. So moving forward, Chaos Magick. So what is Chaos Magick? Chaos Magick is a form of magic where you pretty much create your own system of magic. You create your own rules. You have the freedom to experiment around, with different things, different ritual approaches, and concepts. So you pretty much, you incorporate into your system, what works, so to speak. There's a quote that comes from the video game Assassin's Creed, and also from this novel known as Alamut. But the quote is, "Nothing is true, everything is permitted." And what this particular quote is describing, especially when it comes down to chaos magic, is there are no set established rules that you have to follow, that somebody else created. You pretty much create your own rules. You're pretty much the master over your own spiritual path and magical practice. You're fully held responsible for the good things that you experience, the good results that you get, and you're also responsible for the negative experiences and results that you get. So pretty much you take ownership for whatever outcome that you experience, whether it be good or bad, because you're the one that's setting the tempo, setting the rules, and just overall you're creating the experiences for yourself. So you're fully held responsible for your magic and nobody else. So it's a system of magic that gives you pretty much the free will to incorporate what you desire into your magic, which makes it a very powerful system of magic. Some of the common practices and concepts within chaos magic are sigils, creating your own mantras, so to speak. Also creating your own magical entities known as servitors, so to speak. So it's a system where you can exercise your creativity at a top-notch level, so to speak. And I'm going to talk about and teach on, the concept of sigils, how to make them, what they are, of course, if you never heard of a sigil. I'm going to also teach on how to create your own mantras. Well, some people would like to say magical languages or phrases, and of course going to also build on servitor magic and how to create your own magical entities. So look forward to that. But the concept of chaos, I want to talk about this too. A lot of people think, when they hear the word chaos, they automatically think of something bad and destructive. And that's not necessarily the case. That is truth to that, but that's not what the concept of chaos is fully connected to, so to speak. Chaos represents the original primordial essence of all existence. Pretty much people would call it dark matter, energy, that was here in the very beginning, before creation. But out of this primordial nothingness came forth, creation, came forth light, and things of that nature. Everything came out of chaos. All right. In this sense, chaos would mean infinite possibilities, unlimited potential. That's why when you look at the chaos star, it's a dot that has several arrows coming out of it. And the arrows would symbolize, infinite possibilities and things of that nature. So that's the concept of chaos in this particular sense. So Chaos Magick is definitely a very powerful system of magic. Like I said, it gives you the ability, to create your own system, gives you the opportunity to experiment around, see what works and see what doesn't work, so to speak. You create your own rules, 'cause at the end of the day, you're fully responsible for the experiences that you have from your magic, whether they be good or whether they be bad. All right. So that's pretty much all I wanted to build on for this particular discussion. So this is pretty much like a introduction, into Chaos Magick, so to speak. That's pretty much all I wanted to build on. Hope that you all are doing good and well, like I said. Hope that you all are seeing the results in your magical work. So keep up the good work, stay consistent, in what you do. And yeah, so just continue to take one day at a time and stay on top of things. All right. Y'all be safe, and I will talk to you all on the next discussion. Peace.